John Edward Jones, 26 years old, is an explorer who was trapped in a cave from November 24, 2009 until now. Nutty Putty Cave, discovered in the 1960s outside Salt Lake City, Utah. The cave was a local favorite for Boy Scout troops and college students, attracting 5,000 visitors each year. Then came the tragic death of John Edward Jones in 2009, when the 26-year-old father and medical student was trapped upside down in a narrow crevice, where rescuers could not reach him. On November 24, 2009, John, who lives in Virginia and was in Utah for Thanksgiving, his brother, and a group of 10 others, visited Nutty Putty as a bonding. At the time, John was 26 years old and had not spelunked in a long time. He also weighed around 90 kilo, which is not ideal for exploring narrow cave passages. The group started exploring around 8 p.m., passing the big slide. After an hour of exploring, Jones, his brother, and 2 friends then decided to search for the birth canal, which is one of the narrowest chambers in the cave. John found what he thought was the birth canal and tried to enter head first, but once inside, John realized that he had made a very fatal mistake. The moment he entered the birth canal gap, Jones realized that his body was trapped. He didn't even have room to wriggle out of the gap. The only thing he could do was to keep going. Jones tried to take a breath to make his body fit through the narrow cave opening. But when he tried to take another breath of air, his body was immediately trapped and could no longer move, and found himself stuck upside down at a 70-degree angle. Josh, Jones's brother who was exploring the Nutty Putty cave, found his brother and tried to pull him out of the crevice. However, Jones fell further and was trapped in an even more dangerous position. Josh finally left the cave to seek help. But even though the rescue team had arrived, Jones was already trapped 121 meters from the cave mouth in a worrying condition. Over the next 24 hours, more than 100 people from the rescue team tried to get Jones out of the crevice. Knowing that Jones was upside down, rescuers worked quickly. Susie Motola, a 5'3" caver, was in the process of moving homes. She dropped everything to come to help Jones. She worked for 2 hours, trying anything and everything she could think of to free him, or at least make him comfortable. When she took a break, another rescuer took her place. John had been trapped nearly upside down for 12 hours. With fluids pooling dangerously in his head and lungs, the shock of the injury could kill him. After weighing their options, the rescuers worked on building a pulley system. When Ryan Schertz made his way to Jones, he realized that asking him about his family helped him refocus. They even gave Jones a way to communicate with his wife, who asked him to keep fighting. John told Ryan about his wife Emily, about their life together in Virginia, about their 1-year-old daughter, and about the baby on the way. The baby would be born on Ryan's birthday, June 13th. The Salt Lake County crew brought in a telecommunicator, a set of 2 radios that transmitted over a cable. They set up the cable 400 feet from the entrance to John's tunnel, then gave Ryan a loudspeaker. Ryan stretched his arm out as far as he could with the little black box. Tears streamed down the rescuer's face as Emily shouted to John from the chaotic surface to the musty, cramped tunnel.
I love you. Just keep fighting.
Emily's voice crackled through the box. John yelled, and Ryan could hear he was crying. When the pulley system was finished, it was 4 p.m. on November 25, and John had been trapped for 19 hours. But as they slowly pulled, the rope broke under the weight of Jones and the rescuers. A carabiner hit Ryan in the face, and he passed out. When he came to, Ryan said someone had to accompany Jones, so his father, Dave Schertz, climbed in. Eventually, Jones stopped talking. Dave continued working to free him but got stuck himself. He had to push to get out of the cave. When he resurfaced, Dave told the Utah County Sheriff,
"He's dying right now. He has a heartbeat, but he's had difficulty breathing before I got there. You can't get someone down there before he dies."
Brandon Kowalis was the last rescuer to make his way down to Jones.
I ended up being the last person to see him alive, though at the time I arrived, he was mostly unconscious.
Kowalis explained how he tried drilling and asked for lighter tools to help him get the job done, but nothing worked. And with Jones unconscious, it was impossible to free him. He never woke up. At 11:56 p.m. on November 25, a paramedic crawled into the cave and pronounced John dead. Emily couldn't understand how they could know John was dead. They hadn't found a pulse on his legs for hours.
She was terrified of leaving. What if he's not dead and I'll leave and he wakes up and no one's there?
Emily thought. But John hadn't moved, spoken or breathed for hours. Kowalis said he had heard John dying, Emily forced herself to get into a car with John's family and leave her husband behind. Rescuers spent 27 hours trying to get John out of the deadly narrow hole. However, the rescue team's efforts were fruitless. John's body is still trapped to this day. John Jones's family and the landowners, as well as the government's request, have agreed to seal the door of the Nutty Putty cave and place a photo of John Edward Jones there, marking the Nutty Putty cave as John's grave.